What's the anteater?
And the last professional bird meter I had this thing on is producing 127 watts out.
Oh, so you're only running 100 watts.
That's correct.
Well, there's your answer, Ray.
I've been doing this a long time. It's not the signal, it's the audio. The audio is very hard to understand.
Well, I understand him just fine.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I got a good copy on him.
Is that doing better there?
No.
You running a dipole down there, Jim?
The signal's fine. The signal's not the issue. Anyway, go ahead. You guys pick it up. I just have to rest. My tongue's been going a mile a minute for about an hour or 2 hours here. I got to rest it.
Holy cow! You come in here with a wiped out tongue?
Get up, Ray, you asshole.
Oh, can't we all just get along?
I disappeared for a minute. Did I miss anything?
No, not really. Are you running a dipole down there, Jim?
I've got a C5 RV out back.
Oh, no way. Is it full size or the compromise one?
160 through 10.
Okay, then it's the big one.
Yeah, so it's a big one. How long is it?
Well, actually, I don't know. I got it from the wireman, and I think it's 127 feet.
Yeah, so there's part of the problem right there.
160. What, 215 to 20 feet, something like that. So that's a little short.
Yeah, but for 100 watts and a compromised antenna, he's not doing too bad here at all.
No, he's doing good considering what he's running, but like I said, the audio quality's just not the way it should be.
Yeah, what's the mic there, Jim? Are you running the stock mic with that, or you got a test mic?
It's a test mic, the MD100 Yaesu.
Okay, the MD100.
Ray, you told me that was the best mic there was.
It is if you put it on a modern, up-to-date radio. It's not the best there is. It's a good microphone. The best there is the world famous there. What's his name there? What's that one there you get from Amazon? MXL.
Yeah, the one you told me to go look at. That's a nice looking mic. I'm still thinking about getting one of them.
I got one. Actually, it's a very nice microphone. And if you compare it side by side with the RE320, it's extremely close. It has a little bit more highs than the RE320, but the RE320 has a really smooth sound.
They're both good, but the MXL seems to work better on more radios.
Yeah, every radio is different, and every voice is different, so I don't know if I'd sound good with one of them or not. I mean, the only thing I could do would be try, but my voice characteristics don't do well on a lot of mics.
Well, all I can tell you is it's the radio. Number one is the problem, and then maybe you might be able to get the radio to sound a little bit better with a different mic on it. But it's the radio. It's not the microphone. If you have one of the newer radios like this one or the 7600 or the 7300, and then you have the good microphone, then you can make.
Did I mention I was cheap, Ray?
Yes, believe me, I understand that, but all I can say is, your audio's not that bad, but I think if you had the right mic on there, it'd probably sound a little bit better. Is there any way to widen the audio on those? Can you go in there and change a filter or something?
We've done that.
I'll talk to y'all later. I gotta go over 6 meter, got a net going on. 10-3, nice talking to you. Might be back there in a while. 10-3, have a good weekend, KJLE.
Okay, 7-3.
Thanks for stopping by. You're always welcome. We'll look for you to come back sometime soon.
Hey, Mark, you sort of sound like this. Hello, radio.
Yeah, I know exactly what it sounds like. This is the second element I tried out of the bag from Randy, and I've been using it now. This will be night number 3. That's why I asked last night if nobody came back to me screaming at me saying, "Oh my God, that audio sucks. It sounds like you're running a helicopter microphone," and nobody said that, so I just kept using it, waiting for somebody to tell me how awful it sounded.
I mean, I hear you. I can hear you as long as the signal's good. You know, you're coming in okay. Now, do you notice that guy came in with a 7800 the other night? Now, when his signal was low at 100 watts, I was having a hell of a hard time understanding what he was saying, and so was Randy. Now, when he put the amp on and the signal came up, I could definitely hear him a lot better. But you know, he's just one of those guys wasn't gonna change the audio so that it was right.
Yeah, right. I understand. Yeah, when you're low power like that on noisy conditions and you've got your audio's too wide, you lose the intelligibility. I've noticed that this element is particularly focused on the intelligibility part of the audio spectrum. It has 0 low characteristics. The brilliance, no high brilliance to it, but it's very selective, almost like a D104 element, right in the intelligibility range. So this microphone element would make an excellent DX audio mic.
Hey, Mark.
Sir, yes, sir.
I'm just looking at your signal. It is just a shy over 2 kilohertz, like 2.4, 2.5. Is that what you have it set at?
Actually, I have the rig set at 3K. If I'm not doing that, that's because of the mic element.
Okay. I was just saying because it looks like it's only about 2.5.
Yeah, exactly. It's cut off. The high end's cut off.
Yep, there's no lows to it, and the high end is also missing. But see, Ray hears me clearly and understands me completely. That's because I think this particular element is designed for intelligibility.
Wait. I never understood you completely.
And you don't sound intelligent.
Oh, all right, let me rephrase. You guys are tough. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand. We can understand what you're talking about, but we don't understand you.
Nobody understands me. That's part of the entertainment value.
Yeah, right. We'll keep you. I won't send you back to where you came from.
Oh, God. I mean, you can only go to the nursing home so many times, and then it's enough. Let them die.
Who was calling? Go ahead.
Hey, Ray, this is KF4 GPM. That's my job. I think Ray is really intelligent guy. He tells it like it is.
I agree. Yep.
No, not really, because me and Ray disagree on something about on 160 meters. But anyways, Ray's a good guy.
Oh, I disagree with a lot that Ray has to say, but there's 5 things that we do agree on. I just can't remember which 5 they are now.
You better start writing this down.
In 1990, Ray disagreed with me that we wasn't going to have 200 meters, but we do now.
Is that true, Ray? Were you a doubter?
What do you mean 200? That's not 200 meters down there, is it?
I believe that's what they're calling that.
200 meters, huh?
Yeah, 200 meters. All the ham operators said that we were going to have 200 meters, but it said open up for 200 meters.
Is that the one that's at 475 kilohertz?
Yeah, 457 kilohertz, yeah, both of them.
Oh, okay.
I actually heard someone down there.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to run high power down there, are you?
No, my radio won't transmit there, but I did. I couldn't believe I heard somebody.
Yeah, they run 400 watts down there.
Holy cow. I thought that was power restricted.
It is, but the antenna efficiency is very low.
Well, I think it works by ERP, doesn't it?
Oh, they're doing it like 60 meters did it.
Yeah, ERP, right. So if you have an antenna that's real short, you can run tons of power.
Well, according to Ray, there short antennas work just as good as long ones.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Who gets QST? Which one of you Nimrods get?
Got the new one.
I'm looking at the one right here in front of me.
Right, Mark. Do you get QST?
No.
Well, there's a very, very interesting, very good article in QST this month about building a short, very small loop, a twin loop antenna for 160 and 80. And I'm telling you, that's quite the antenna. It's very small. You can put it in your backyard, and it'll give you a hell of a signal.
Hey, what page is that on?
Oh, I don't know. Just how can you miss it? Just look it up. It's right in the index. It says twin loop antenna.
Yeah, I think I've seen that thing. Isn't the one that goes, it's like 6 foot high or something like that, or taller, and it loops twice?
That's it, yep. Just look at the way that's built. And that's going to teach all you guys what we've been trying to tell you for years. Look at the connections on that. Look how they do it.
And you know why, right?
Yeah, the connections they have a vacuum variable cap in it to tune it, and then they have the two sections of the antenna put together with 2-inch wide copper. It's not copper strap either. It's solid, 2-inch wide folded copper, and then it's screwed together with 2 brass screws. And they tell you right in the thing that does not make the connection. Once it's all cleaned up and done right, and the brass screws are in it, then you got to silver solder it together, and then you got to clean it, and then you got to weatherproof it so that the copper doesn't oxidize or tarnish, or the antenna won't work.
Oh, no, that's right. It won't, because you're moving literally hundreds of amps through that copper conductor, and your voltage on that variable cap can be as high as 30,000 volts. And you've got a VSWR of about...
The bandwidth on this antenna, because of the twin loops, is 4 kilohertz.
Oh, excuse me. You can actually get your whole voice in there.
Yep, just barely. But you could make it even bigger. They're using 7/8. What are they using? They're using waveguide for the element, waveguide. But you could actually make it bigger. I think that antenna would work better if it was made with 1 5/8. 1 5/8 hard line or a larger stuff. And I think you'd be very shocked to believe that thing done right would probably work very, very close to a full-size loop.
What kind of power did they say that thing could handle?
He's only running 400 watts because that's the limit in Australia, but it can be done at 1,500 watts. You just have to get a bigger that capacitor that he's running, that Jennings it's variable capacitor, so we're rated for 10,000 volts. You'd need a 30,000 volt one.
Yeah, and don't try using just any cap on that either. It's got to be a vacuum.
Oh, absolutely. But it's just interesting the way they make the big, super heavy-duty connections, and everything has to be silver soldered and clean. And then he's very specific. After it's done, you got to clean it real good. He uses a special word for it. I forgot what it was, but clean it real good. Then it's got to be coated so that the copper doesn't get tarnished. But what I would do if I was going to build that antenna, I'd build it and get it running, and then I'd take it apart again, and I'd silver plate everything.
Well, it would be a good experimental antenna, but I definitely wouldn't use that on a regular basis because it would be too much of a pain in the neck. Well, if you never moved off frequency, if you always had it here, and that was the biggest antenna, if that was the only antenna you could use, yeah, I think it'd probably be ideal.
Right, but that's the whole point. If you only used it on 1930, you'd only have to trim it when it got wet. If it got wet or snow on it or something, you'd have to retune it.
Yeah, but it's directional, so you're going to miss some people.
Yeah, it does have a rotor on it. I'm sure it's going to be somewhat directional, so you're right. That might be an issue. I don't know.
So I'm here, KB2ZVP.
We got your new mobile antenna for you. Did you look at QST this month?
Yeah, no. No.
That'd be a hell of a nice little antenna, though, wouldn't it?
I haven't looked at it.
Check it out. You're going to really enjoy it because I told these guys to look at it because you got to see the way the connections have to be made. They have to be made the way they show you, and they're the kind of connections we always talk about.
I'll have to check it out. I'm not even sure where the hell the thing is. It's in here someplace, I'm sure. Hello, Mark. I'm not sure who all is here, but good evening, everybody.
You sound tired already.
I'm freaking exhausted. Wicked day today. Wicked day. KB2ZVP.
I thought you were supposed to be the brains of the operation.
I am, and that's more tiring than being the brawn. Trust me.
Oh, okay.
Of course, you wouldn't know you wouldn't know anything about that, so of course you wouldn't have anything to reference.
That's true. You know, I never did anything that required any brawn or brains.
Good evening, Toadman, from Whiskey Golf 2 Echo. Happy Equinox.
Hi, Carl. I mean, how hard is it to make pizza sauce?
Not that hard.
There's a great art to making sauce. Great sauce makers know how to make it. It's a secret recipe, family secret recipe. And it's springtime. Happy springtime, everybody.
We've got, what's our forecast for 6 to 11 inches?
Or is this a family tradition recipe?
Randy was doubling with you, so I didn't hear you. But making good spaghetti sauce is an art. And even better than that is the meatballs. Try to make a really good meatball. That's really an art.
Old Man Winter's not giving up yet.
Why? It's supposed to rain. Isn't it supposed to rain? There's no snow. It's supposed to go up to like 50 degrees. It was 40. What was it today? It was like, I think it was 47 or 48 degrees here today. It's supposed to go up to 50 tomorrow. Till Wednesday. I don't know. 2 days is supposed to get warm.
I'm supposed to get like 7 inches or something on Friday. So I can't wait.
You're crazy. There's no way.
Our report is for heavy snow possible. Total snow accumulation 6 to 11 inches possible. Winds should gust as high as 35, causing areas of blowing and reduced visibility.
Hey, Ray, did you notice in that article there in QST that they said that circulating currents in there is 87 amps?
Well, that's why they're using 2-inch wide copper strap, and they have to silver solder everything. And it's just a good article to read for those of you who think that you can just go make a crappy connection on your 160 antenna and it's going to work.
No, you cannot have it. You cannot have no antenna, because if you had that, you can kiss your goodbye radio goodbye.
Well, I'm going to give all my connections a good inspection once the weather's nice.
Just replace them all, that's all. Every year, just build a new antenna.
Well, just use the old one to pull in the new one.
Exactly right. You know how much money we used to spend on VHF for antennas? I mean, I would spend $20,000 if I could figure out a way to get a better signal. You know, I shouldn't say that. $10,000 anyway to get a better signal than I was producing. I mean, you put up a tower and you put up 18 triple X's and the rotor and the preamps and the LMR 600 or whatever. I mean, you got 10 grand wrapped up into a system like that. Now we want a new antenna. Cost you what? $100?
Hey, look at that video I sent you on Facebook. That's how you're going to do your tower.
I commented on that. That dude has got his act together, man. That helicopter pilot is he's rock solid.
What did he do?
They actually had a whole big electrical power, a wire, the big tower that holds the power wires up, and they came in and dropped it on another piece of tower with a helicopter.
Just drops it on it and flies away.
I've seen that before, but that is awesome. All right, guys. I want to go ahead and get out of here because dessert is calling me and stuff. My brother felt that he brought dessert home. So I'm going to eat that up and probably going to bed here pretty shortly here. 5:30 rolls around pretty quickly around here in the cook's house and stuff. My mom and dad gets up really early and stuff there. Anyways, it's raining here, but it was sleet and snowing here this morning. See you guys later.
See you, Nelson, 73.
M1SAG.
Hello, David.
Randy, you know, did I tell you years, well, I don't know, a while back you could have those tower sections?
No.
I thought I did, but you can have them. I don't, because the other guy, he'll never come and get them. He's down in North Carolina. I'll bring him to the summit.
What are they?
Roll 25, a tip section and a 10-foot tower section.
Oh, I need that. That gets me to 150 feet, Ray.
Yeah, then you can put up the world famous N1 DVL caged antenna, and you'll have the biggest signal on the air.
All right, that's what I'll do. I'll bring them to the summit.
Wow, I'm telling you, that's going to really work good.
I'll be the absolute king.
Absolutely.
I'll get them out of my cellar. All they do is trip over.
They're in your cellar?
Yeah, where do you think I'll put them? Outside where they get all rusty?
Maybe I want to be the king.
All you need is a few more sections, Randy, and you'll be all set.
Carl, it's up for grabs. All you got to do is produce.
I've been reading my antenna physics book. I'm working. The wheels are turning.
I have total faith in you, Carl. I have absolute total faith in you.
Well, I highly suggest that everybody pay a lot of attention to that article, that little twin loop deal, and look at the way they make those connections and read about how important those connections are. And then you'll understand why your antennas don't work right.
Don't give away all of our secrets, Ray.
I've been thinking after looking at that, the hot setup would be you come up with your twin lead, and you take a piece of 2-inch copper strap, probably maybe 2 inches long, and you wrap one half of that around the wire on the antenna, and the other half you wrap around 2 inches of the open wire feed line. And then you sweat that you put a groove in it. You fold that around the wire and the antenna. So you know what I mean? You fold it right around, and then you hit that with silver solder, and you solder that whole connection. So you got a 2-inch solder connection on both sides of that in the copper strap. That's the way to get that thing to the antenna.
Has he been eating magic mushrooms again?
Well, just look at that article, and you'll see. And that antenna, and they tell you right in the article, if you don't do it that way, the antenna won't even work.
That's why my antenna's not working.
Who are you talking to, Ray?
Can you hear that guy? He's out in Connecticut somewhere, but I can barely hear him.
The one was antenna. I didn't strap my 2-inch copper around my antenna.
Let me rotate the beam. KB2ZVP. I don't even think I did that since I got on here. Hey, Bob. We're just listening to, it's Wednesday. I thought we were talking about food on Wednesdays, not building antennas, but I guess we're listening to antenna theory.
I had pasta tonight.
I had a salad.
We had all that tonight.
I had a chicken.
It's pasta night. You should have had a pasta.
We had veggie pasta tonight. It was different.
I had a really good salad tonight. Maureen made me a delicious salad. Lettuce and broccoli. I love broccoli. And carrots and cukes, of course. Really good salad.
The chef made the salad at our dinner table.
A little bit of red onion.
Olives?
No.
Chichi beans?
No beans.
Oh, come on. You don't like black olives?
Nah, not so much. Not in the salad.
I get the large ones.
Oh, there's nothing like good black olives.
Ray, I can't find them with pits in them anymore.
I hate them with pits.
I love them with the pits in it.
Thrown or placed?
What do you mean?
Would you ever look on the olive jars, and some of them say placed olives, and some of them say thrown olives?
Never paid that much attention. I'll have to look next time.
Yeah, the ones that are placed, they're all in there, all lined up in such a way that the little pimento thing is shining, pointing out, and the thrown olives are just in there every which way.
Oh, these are just hollowed out, thrown olives, I would imagine. They're just in the can. I open up the can, drain the juice out, and put them right over the salad. Yum, yum.
I never liked olives. When we were kids and we'd be out to dinner, my little sister, she always liked olives, so I always picked all the olives out of my salad and gave them to her.
I like any kind. Stuffed olives, plain olives, green olives, red olives, all kind of different olives. With the pits in them, I love them.
I like the green olives.
Sometimes they stuff them with peppers. Oh, those are the best. They made the meatballs, the sauce, and sausage. And went and got my mother, brought her back. And we ate all the pasta. There was only enough left over for one serving.
Yeah, I would like to have had pasta tonight, but I actually texted Maureen. I said, look, don't worry about making a big pasta dinner tonight. Let's just do a salad. We need to cut back a little bit, so that's what we had.
Yeah, no, good salad is a good meal. You're right. Hey, Devin's coming back today.
Yeah, I got to shoot him a text. You're right.
Hopefully his stuff is still standing.
It's amazing how that 49-to-1 Ballant antenna outperformed that loop. Boy, those loops really suck.
Well, don't forget, Jeff does a great job with that Ballant, that 49 or 50-to-1 Ballant on that end-fed antenna. It works just as good as his loop does on 160.
Well, I believe it can work as good, but I just don't believe it's 20 dB better like Devin's was.
Oh, no, he had a big problem with his loop.
I guess so. Did he ever figure out what the problem was?
Yeah, it was connections, poor connections, rusty, black, tarnished, just cruddy old, nasty old, average guy connections.
I guess he never listened to the world-famous Toad Harbor Net, huh?
You don't get connections like that with stainless steel.
That's a good point.
For the future, stainless steel. I'm getting me some.
Yeah, but the problem is the stainless steel already has the 3 dB pad built in.
Perhaps, but you never have to worry about it going lower than that.
That's true. That's true. If you could put it up once and you had to leave it up, you'd probably be better off with good quality stainless.
Ain't my first rodeo, Ray.
Stainless was the worst conductor with all right.
It is, but again, if you put up copper and the copper gets all black, that's even worse. The way to do it is get silver-plated wire. Get wire, and you can buy it, and get silver-plated. That's the stuff you want to use, and you never have to ever change it.
Just use a number 6 stainless.
Yeah, but stainless is still going to have high resistance no matter what you do.
Yeah, but Ray, you drop the resistance down when the diameter goes up, and you could at some point you're going to equal what a number 10 copper would be.
Oh, you'd probably, if you do the math, I'll bet you that thing's going to be big. It's probably going to be ½ inch in diameter.
No, I doubt it because your surface area is the square of the radius, right? So you go up in diameter, goes up 4 times the circumference. Well, you're looking at the circumference, so it's actually linear, right? Because of the skin effect. Penetration is about 6 or 7 thousandths of an inch on this frequency.
Well, they said in that article how much difference there is between wire and steel wire and stuff, and I think it's like 80 times more resistive. It's a real big difference if you're using steel.
Well, if you really want to go crazy, get Litz wire and use it.
Yeah, but that doesn't really work. That's just barely working at this frequency. I mean, it's probably slightly better.
I wanted to put up a loop of nichrome wire, Ray, and see just how bad the losses really are.
Probably wouldn't even be able to hear you.
Yeah, I bet you'd still copy me with a 10/9.
You're crazy. If I ran a piece of coax cable from the back of my radio to your radio, and it was really high quality stuff, you wouldn't even be able to hear me.
It's called resonance, Ray. You got to be resonant, my brother.
It's
I'll work you on my dummy load.
50 ohms out. You just wouldn't hear me. The loss in the cable's 10,000 times what it is through air.
You'd hear me on nichrome wire.
Hey, that's easy enough to figure out. You had 535 feet of nichrome wire. I'll bet you we might hear you, but just barely.
I bet you'd be really surprised what kind of signal I'd give you if I ran nichrome wire.
I don't think so.
Well, there's the challenge right there. And the challenge has been laid. Go ahead, Mark. Do it. We'll see if we can hear you.
Oh, if only it was easier to put antennas up that side.
Hey, you could figure it out. What resistance of a piece of nichrome wire? Your antenna's 80 ohms. So what would nichrome wire be?
Wouldn't it be expensive?
Oh, that's not... Listen, money means nothing to the world-famous Toad Harbor net. The gauntlet has been thrown.
Yeah, this is an experimental band, guys, so, I mean, that's officially an experiment.
I've got to go find a glass of wine in the kitchen if we have any. Be back in a minute. KB2ZVP.
Carl, hop on that computer and see what the resistance is of a piece of nichrome wire, number 14 gauge nichrome wire. No, make it the same gauge as his antenna. Make it like 18 gauge nichrome wire. What's the resistance per foot or per 100 feet?
We've driven Randy to drink.
Okay.
If Ray said, please just imagine what Carl would do.
The losses, don't make it a loop, Ray. Just make it a dipole. That way you're overcoming some of the effect of the resistive value of the wire due to end effects. So you're only dealing with a shorter length of the nichrome wire, so you'll be able to radiate more energy before the resistance of the actual conductor takes a hold.
No. It's loop to loop. The gauntlet. Loop to loop. You're saying we could hear you. I'm saying we probably couldn't.
Holy mackerel.
Okay, well, go ahead. What's the resistance?
Well, just off the top here, 23 gauge is 1.32 ohms per foot.
So you're looking at a 500 ohm loop.
Easy to match, anyway.
20 gauge is 0.66 ohms per foot.
What gauge was the second one?
20 gauge, that's 0.032 diameter.
So it'd be 353 ohms to your 80 now. Now your 80 ohms is eating up half the power. So I'm assuming if you went to 160, you'd be double that. And double that again, Christ, yeah, you'd be radiating about, 400, 200. Yeah, you'd probably be radiating about 100 watts.
I'd be down to about 10 or 15 over 9 to you.
I think it'd be more like an S9.
Well, it'd be the same thing as me doing 100 watts to you, and I've already given you 10 over 9 with that.
Yeah, well, tonight's a good night. You're 20 over.
So in a pinch, if that's all you had to use, if you were on a sinking vessel and they only had nichrome wire and you needed to make an emergency antenna, there you go.
A 200-foot spool of 18 gauge is $70. So that'd be what, $160-something for your antenna.
Still pretty cheap.
Yeah, go look up what a big 2 meter antenna costs now, or a big 6 meter antenna. You know that 49-foot 6 meter antenna is like $1,800.
Yeah, look up what a stacked set of 18 triple X's would cost you with an SSB preamp and all the cabling and stuff in the tower and the coax and the concrete. Like I said, you'll have $10,000 in that system before you're
with more than 10. My tower cost me $5,500. Today, my tower would be $10,000 easy just for the tower. So you're probably looking at about 14 or 15 for the whole setup.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about I had a Roan 25, 80 feet of that. So, and the pipe. Actually, the pipe probably costs more than a Roan 25 does nowadays. That seamless mechanical pipe. Ray's got an answer.
Let's see. If I were to make a roof antenna for this frequency, and I was going to use 8-gauge solid aluminum wire, how much loss would that be?
It wouldn't be too bad. It would be worse than copper, but not bad.
But it's 8 gauge, so you'd be picking up something there.
Yeah, if it was high quality, if it's high quality aluminum, the one that conducts good, it'd probably be about the same as 12 gauge copper.
Yeah, it would be negligible. You wouldn't even notice. You'd have to have real sensitive equipment to see the difference.
The biggest problem you would have is making the contact, the connection. If you got the connection made really, really great, you'd be okay, but that's the spot you'd have the issue.
Yeah, aluminum's really tough to make a real good contact.
I'll send Randy over. He can weld it together.
You need real good butt connectors for that.
And to Echo Whiskey Mike.
Just wire nuts.
It's a clamp. The clamp type.
You got that compression clamp type you can use, and you can use wire nuts. You can use wire nuts. I mean, people, hams do that all the time.
Right. I'll just see it. Something to do.
You just got to make sure with the wire nuts you count how many times you turn it so you don't get the signal going out vertically instead of horizontally. It's got to be an even number.
But you can overcome the losses if you use Toad Harbor feed line.
Yeah, use aluminum feed line.
Well, that's the thing to do. If you're going to do it, that's the thing to do. Buy a 1,000-foot roll of number 8 aluminum and build your feed line and your antenna with the same piece of wire. Bring it right back to your tuner, connect it in, and you'll be the king.
That's right. That's a great idea. No connections.
8-gauge aluminum wire is 1.03 ohms per 1,000 foot.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that'd be Bob, you'd be the king.
Right up into the wire, staying hard from vibration and broke apart.
The ham who would be king.
Hello, Bruce.
For about 2 months.
Hello.
I was on your QRZ site today playing your plasma speaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was showing some of the owner of the plant and somebody, one of his buddies. We were talking about ham radio and all that, and I let him hear, because he knows that we have some pretty. Actually, it started with Kanan, the guy with the weather report, the solar report, and then we got talking about that, and we were talking about John BYP, who's listening to the sun with his ham radio equipment, and then we got talking about you, the mad scientist. Whenever I talk about the really smart guys, I bring up John and you, by the way.
Well, I don't know how smart I am. If I was smart, I'd probably be, I don't know where I'd be.
And to EWM.
Hey, wait. Where do I come in?
Oh, they all know about you. Everybody knows about my buddy Ray. Hi, Gary.
Ray,
Good evening,
you
mister.
can't dazzle them with brilliance, you baffle them with bullshit.
Exactly.
Ray, I found a UFO detector online. You can buy it from Amazon.
Cool. How's it work?
It's a magnetic field detector, like you said.
Yeah, see? You should get one, because I bet you get a lot of UFOs down where you are.
I figured out how to make one. It would be fun to do.
But does it, when it goes off, does it warn you? Does it have like an alarm?
It's this fancy thing. It's got a magnetometer in it and a bunch of LEDs, and it's in an acrylic see-through case with all these lights that go flashing off and stuff. It's got a fancy design on it.
How much is it?
I can't even remember. It was like $60.
$88.
Something like that.
Oh, we all got to buy them. No kidding. We all got to buy them, and we'll have them in our shack. And then if anybody lights up, we'll alert the rest of the crew. I think we got to buy them.
Definitely.
There's only 4 left in stock.
Are they as sensitive as the compass?
I don't know. Let me look about it.
I don't know. I'm just wondering about that. The magnetometer in them, I don't know, how that works. Some sort of a electronic sensing device.
I got to read. Carl's going to read about it, but if it's as good as the compass, because that's what they say. They use a compass and they just put a pin 10 degrees on each side of magnetic north, and that they say that'll pick up a UFO with no problem. So this other one might be even better. Yeah, we're definitely all have to get one. Definitely. I'll be that thing goes off in the middle of the night. I'll be running. I'll be waving my 450 around.
Bruce, did you read the customer questions and answers at the bottom of the page by any chance?
No, I didn't go that far with it. Go ahead and read it.
Well, let me just read several of the questions. In which dimension does this detector operate? Will this also detect anal probes? Will the signal interfere with my ghost detector? So, it's UFO detector, blue LEDs, internal magnetometer, interface with a microcontroller for 24/7 days a week monitoring for magnetic anomalies that have been reported with many UFO sightings. $86.
Ray, don't you think that you might need a little bit more equipment than just one of those things to really zero in if it's a UFO or not?
Yeah, you need that, and then you need one of those rockets that you can shoot a tank with.
3 inches in diameter and 4 inches tall. I'm ordering one tonight.
Boy, I'll tell you, what happens if the thing starts going off at 3 and 4 in the morning? What are you going to do?
Reviews first.
Read reviews. Not so good?
Well, I don't know. They got some 5s, believe it or not, but I always start and read the worst ones.
It's a 3.6 rating. It's 133 reviews on it, so it's gotten some play.
Probably because of Ray on the Toad Harbor nest.
Listen, there's probably a hell of a lot more UFOs flying around than most people think.
Now, if only we could get them to check in regularly and report.
Ray and I were discussing the other night. We thought maybe you were one. What do they call those?
extraterrestrial.
Has anybody actually seen Mark?
Yeah. What's up with that?
Yeah, I saw him once. I just couldn't figure out why he had that third eye.
Oh, here we go.
WA3FPN.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Randy, Mark, Ray, Carl. Let's see, who else is in there? That's all I can remember at this point.
Maybe we ought to send Good Mike over to check him out.
Joanne's going to Carlisle tomorrow. She'll be driving right past his place. I'll get her to scout him.
Have her shine a flashlight in his face and see if his eyes turn red.
Well, the least she could do is take a picture of the loop and the property.
I'll mention that.
You know, I was just thinking that loop might set off that magnetic detector.
Ray, we've already covered that.
Randy, with all that power going into your loop, I bet that'd set off that magnetic detector.
I'm thinking it'd be pretty awesome. Remember back in the 80s we had the lights on our stereo speakers that the lights would flash? I'm kind of thinking that's going to be how it's going to work here. Well, okay, so would anything besides UFOs cause the detector to activate? Yes, anything that disturbs the local magnetic field around the UFO detector will trigger it.
Wave up and this thing is going to be going on.
You kidding me? I'll be trying to get all the lights to light, you know.
Sounds to me like there's much better things to use $89 to get.
Does anyone know how this works near Area 51? If you get no readings, it's proof that the device is being jammed.
Oh my God.
You know, if you buy one of those, you might get put on a list.
Yeah, thinking the same thing.
You're already on the list, Ray.
If my girlfriend is an alien, how would I go about detecting this?
He doesn't know by now, Ian. He's not in too deep.
Hey, Randy.
Yes, sir, Gary.
I just sent you a picture.
Okay.
Check it out.
Did you get her drunk?
I'm still working on that one. She got a hell of a smirk.
Is that my signal?
That is, yeah. I think I captured that with you talking.
What is this program you're running?
It's the new, it's one of the latest versions for the Flex 3000.
It couldn't be me. My signal should be better than that. It must have been Ray. No, it's not wide enough to be Ray's. Oh, yes, it is. It's from 25 to 40. That's definitely Ray's. Sorry, Ray.
Hang on, I'm looking up a Flex 3000.
Yeah, this new software is wicked cool. It's got a lot more stuff than the other one had on it.
It's pretty sexy.
It is indeed.
Oh, man, it's only got a blocking 100 kilohertz blocking of 116. That is really bad.
You can't hear me on that radio.
It has a stingy meter. Oh, it's probably because it's preamp.
You got to have a preamp to hear me?
No, I just run some attenuation. Now let's see where you're at.
This is the new Flex software, right?
Well, it's been around for quite a while. It's the KE9NS version.
Okay, so it's new to you.
New to me, yeah. And running a low attenuation, that brought you up to 30 over.
Yeah, well, that's respectable enough. I mean, considering you got such a bad receiver.
Right. Does my audio still sound the same? Because I'm running a new computer as well, different computer.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
That's all right. As long as you can hear me.
Yeah, it sounds great.
You wouldn't want to have a strong signal nearby.
What's that, Ray?
I said with that 3000, you wouldn't want a strong signal nearby on way off frequency.
No, that's the luck of living where I do.
Hey, where's Russ been? How come he's not on here?
He was in here before.
Yeah, I had to go eat.
Hey, Russ, how are you?
Russ, whiskey, they all sound the same.
I wanted to tell you thank you for sending me over the mileage. I guess the radio stations that are however many miles away from me. Just wanted to tell you thanks for looking up all that stuff.
Were those the ones big signal for you?
I didn't look them up. I don't know.
How close are they?
8 or 10 miles.
Well, your tuner knocks them down, so you really can't tell. See, on this would be me. If I could tune them in, I could tell you how strong they come in.
I could look them up, but there's one. I mean, when I go up the road, it takes my 7,000 right out, and it also takes out the AM because I just listen to AM on my truck, local 590, and when I go up the road, it takes that out too. So there's one point there where it's a strong signal that takes out both the 7,000 and the AM radio.
Yeah, those were the only ones I could find, and they're on the other side of the lake from you. So, but they got some elevation, but they're like East Syracuse type stations, but their transmitter sites are like northeast of the city.
How much power?
Well, one of them's a 5K station around the clock, so that may be the one. But I don't know. I was looking for something with a lot more power, but those were the only ones I could find, like inside of 10 miles of Toad Harbor.
Can you bypass your tuner, Randy? Do you have a bypass?
Yeah.
Put it in bypass and tune down to that station and see how strong it is.
I don't want to do it right now.
Oh, come on. How much trouble is that going to be to tune down to the AM band?
You got to lift up my hand. I got to turn the knob.
What frequency is that one on, Russ?
Hang on, let me get Maureen to come over and do it for me.
You're using the ladder line?
Yeah, just go to bypass, and it's direct right through, I think.
No, on mine's in bypass. It's only bypasses in the coax. In the ladder line there, it's that in the tuner only.
So, I don't have a frequency. Oh, I do have a frequency. Okay, right there. There's the frequencies. Hey, where's Steve tonight? DED.
I'm here.
Hey, what is this pencil, the Batwing pencil? What's that about?
Oh, they're just like, they're like the number one pencil in the world, like what artists use and draw with and stuff. It's supposed to be like the most best feeling when you're drawing and stuff.
Hey, Ray, you dirtbag. I've got the best pencil in the world. Can you compare with that? What do you got to compete with me?
Oh, man. I'm afraid I don't have anything to compete with that.
I've got a Batwing pencil with two erasers. One's an eraser to replace the eraser if it goes bad.
Well, that's a pretty good pencil. How much does it cost? Like $29?
No, it was like $67, but I got it from my friend Steve for nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, this is really a cool pencil.
That little white envelope is also made with that proprietary Write in the Rain paper.
Yeah, I know. I see that. You don't even know what all this stuff. Ray, if you were cool like me, you would have somebody sending you cool stuff too.
Oh boy.
Randy, you send him cool stuff all the time. What are you talking about?
So the last thing I heard Ray getting was, I think he said he got some sort of DVD or something, but he can't play it, and it was very concerned because there was nobody had said who sent it to him, so he didn't know who it came from.
Oh, that's okay. I gave it to Dennis.
See, that's funny. See, the thing about Ray is he expects people to send him bad stuff. Nobody sends me bad stuff. I always get good stuff.
Well, I gave it to Dennis, so if he puts it in his computer and there's a big explosion, you'll know what happened.
Jesus.
All right, I've got to go look at these frequencies. I'll be right back in a sec. KB2ZVP.
Well, first of all, tune them in without putting the tuner in bypass, and then put it in bypass, because, Carl's right. It might just bypass coax cable. It may not bypass to that part of the antenna.
KC3, KXB.
Hello, Tommy.
Hi, Ray. And hi, guys.
Hello to you.
Hello, Tom.
Howdy. You're talking bypass on the antenna tuner?
Yes.
I understand that you put it in bypass and you have a piece of coax going to your dummy load. That's how I understand it.
Oh, yeah, could be. Well, then he's going to have to put a wire out to the, he's going to have to jumper to the antenna.
On my AT4K, bypass is it bypasses the tune section of the tuner. I don't know which coax that's for. It may only be for one of the coaxes. Let me look at it. I gotta move over here. Let me look at it.
Yeah, but it won't bypass to the wire then, will it? To the old
Schneider line's always to the tuner.
Well, see, when you have a BT1500A, the tuner's always in bypass. That's why you can't own a 7610 and a 1500. What? Believe me, it makes perfect sense.
God, get out the tin hat. Yeah, I don't have anything connected up on any of the other stations right now. So, but I go to bypass and the tuner's is knocked out, I think whether I have anything connected into coax 1 or coax 2, there's no way to bypass from what I could see, the open line is always goes into the tuner.
Yeah, that's what I figure.
Yeah, on the back of the AT5K, you got coax 1, coax 2, and the bypass with the SO239s.
Yeah, that's the CB tuner.
What, the AT5K?
Yeah, it's got coax on it. Real hams don't have coax.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing, really. I mean, somebody sounded skeptical, but if you have a BT1500A tuner, you better have a really good receiver to go with it because they don't knock down anything out of band. Somebody's got a big signal.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm back.
I was wondering who that big signal was.
It's I, the big signal guy.
Yeah, so you can't go into bypass into your open wire. So what's the biggest signal you could get out of those AM stations?
So I tuned the tuner to them in 60 over S9 on 1200. And when I went down there, they're about maybe a little over S9. And then I tuned the tuner lower, and I got 1390 to from 40 to 60. It went up to 60 over S9, and then I got 1200 right to 60 over. And there's a big difference in a tuner where between 1200 and 1390, a big difference in a tuner.
Were there any other frequencies? Did you do a quick scan across the band, or did you just check those two?
Just check those two, but anywhere in there, there's a lot of stations that were really, really strong, just like those that were.
Well, 60 over 9. You're really lucky you never bought a 7610.
Yeah, that's no preamp or anything. That's just rock bottom. That's it.
Well, if you had that tuner, yeah, but before you tuned to those stations, what was the signal?
20 over, like I said, 20 over.
Yeah, well, a 7610 will handle 20. 7610 overload light starts to come on at about 55 over 9.
Okay, so yes, arrived this afternoon around 4:30 with 9:30 hour time difference. With 9:30 hour time difference. I'm not sure what Devin's trying to say. Big jet lag, trying to stay awake to get to the normal sleep cycle. We'll fire up the radio tomorrow or the day after. I have to do my taxes too. Today, hi to the team on the Toad Harbor Net. Talk to you soon. So he's home, safe and sound. Thank goodness.
Thank God he didn't take one of those new jets.
I doubt they go over to the ocean, do they? Okay, I don't really know how big those jets are.
Yeah, they can. I'm sure they can go across the ocean. That's a pretty. They wouldn't go to Australia. I mean, they wouldn't go to India probably, but I'm sure they can go across the ocean. But from what I'm hearing, man, those things are just a death trap. Once they start doing that thing, you can't stop it. That's it. You're all done. That plane's just it's an evil. It's evil. Once that computer screws up, you just can't stop it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The pilots, listen to this. Those pilots on that jet, I don't know if you heard this, but they had the manual out and they were trying to read in the manual how to get control of the airplane. That's going to help you a lot in a time like that, isn't it?
There's two switches on the dashboard. Just click them down and you're back to manual.
Well, the point is, when the plane's a few hundred feet off the ground and it's pitching up and down, and you can't, the control stick doesn't control it. That's not a good time to pull the manual out.
No, they should have read the manual first. They should have went through those two switches to get you out of what do you call what do they call that, Tom, for takeoff, the attitude or attack, whatever they used to call it. But there's two toggle switches in a little box, a little hooded thing. So you just put your two fingers in there, click those two toggles down. You're back to now you got to fly an airplane like a real pilot. Oh, God forbid you should have a pilot that would watch the instruments on takeoff and landing. No, everything's automatic. Autopilot this and autopilot that.
Right, and believe me, they've lost, over the last 10 years, they've lost a whole crap load of planes because the goddamn pilots can't fly anymore.
No, that's right. Not that they can't fly, but they get in an airplane and they're so used to the computer flying the airplane, they don't bother trying to fly the airplane. And they do that for a reason. the computer's supposed to give you the most economy, this and that, takeoff, landing, all that's supposed to make it right, make it flawless, but those two switches, if that plane, like the first one, where the hell was that? I forgot. The first one, they said it was similar, and it was the computer. The thing wants to stall, so the computer puts it back into a nose-down attitude. And somehow it went too far nose down, and they crashed into the ground. So crashed in the ocean, the first one, I think. I don't know. They're crashing them left and right. You can't keep track of them, man, on SAG.
Anybody who builds an airplane like that is just simply out of their mind.
Yeah, no more seat of the pants piloting.
This is just another example of the blind faith we have in digital technology. These human beings are a species that is heading for extinction. It's a lemming mentality.
No, he's right. It's and Tom's right too. There's no more seat of the pants anything. Everybody wants a computer.
Everybody wants an auto tuner.
I ran a bucket loader once. It goes into the pile by itself. It fills the bucket by itself, and it doesn't spin the tires. Everything's controlled by computer. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you raise the bucket 4 feet at full throttle, and that gives you your digital scale, what you have in the bucket.
Everybody wants an auto tuner.
Hi, Randy.
Hello, Thomas.
Yeah, first off, you have like Impossible Autopilot software. Then you go to extra wide transmit bandwidth, and then civilization just collapses.
Everybody wants to be 4 kcs wide,
Well, they want to have fabulous, incredibly readable audio.
Well, if you want to read it really incredibly well, just put it on 2.4.
The majority of my energy is out to 3.5.
Yeah, but Ray, you only have fabulous, incredible audio if everybody's got the same kind of bandwidth on the receive.
Right. Well, most of theirs can go out to 4kc. Well, no, 3.6 on an ICOM. So you're right.
I'll tell you what, you sound better on 2.4 than you do on 3.6.
Your radio's broken. Well, next time somebody buys one of these 890s, go over their house and flip it. Go ahead. You flip all you do is one control. Just turn that control when you're listening to me, and you watch how much better it sounds at the wider bandwidth.
No, it's got a fuller sound. Listen to me, okay? Don't be stupid for a second, if you can help yourself. It's got a fuller, smoother sound, but it's a way more readable at 2.4, and I don't care what you say.
Well, then your radio must be broken, because all I can tell you is when I listen to a Kenwood, on this Kenwood, and you open up the bandwidth, it's just infinitely better sounding with a wider bandwidth.
For 30 years, I've been talking to this meatball, and he's always said about how readable audio should be, and how he's drunk on Kenwood, whatever they give you when you get that radio. He's drunk on it. He's high on Kenwood stuff. He drank the Kool-Aid. He drank. I don't think he drank it. I think he mainlined it.
Well, there's no Kenwood in here now. Is there any of the 890 guys in here right now?
Ray, there's only 3 of you in the whole freaking planet.
No, there's 4.
Okay, well, there you go.
And you know what? That 4th guy, that made all the difference.
I kept him in business.
I see somebody in our ham radio club sold an 890, 4 months old for $3,000.
Yeah, there's one on the internet for sale now too. Actually, there's 2 on for sale.
Yeah, they're having problems with them.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody having a problem with one.
They're keeping it hush-hush.
They must be doing a good job.
They're run by Democrats. They know how to do it.
Yeah, just like the 7610. That was all hushed up too.
I got a question for you here. That ACOM 6 meter to 160 meter, is that a solid state, that 1,000 water?
Some of them are. ACOM does have a solid state. I don't think that one is, though.
Yeah. The guy in the club has one of those for sale for $14.50.
I don't know if I was going to buy an amp today. I mean, if I didn't have an amp and I was going to buy one, I'd buy the one from Palstar.
Hey, Randy, can we have a club?
Say again?
Can we have a club?
Sure.
Gotta be good.
I mean, it should be at least as good as Tom's club.
You're easily way better.
So I just got a reply from on the reply to the Toad Harbor chairman. Greetings, sir. I want to thank you and Maureen for the T-shirt from the world famous Toad Harbor Net from Les W3LES. You guys are all supposed to say something nice now.
Well, all I can say is it's not just worldwide. I think it's the aliens have been listening, so it's kind of a universally, renowned.
That's what we should do. We should talk to the aliens and tell them that we're really interested in, joining up with them, and we should talk them into coming down to the world-famous Toad Harbor get-together. And when they land out there in the field, and then we'd really be world-famous.
What are you talking about, you simpleton? What do you mean world famous? It's interplanetary famous Toad Harbor net.
How old is the net?
It's very, very old, Carl. Way, going on 5 years.
Okay, well then that's enough time for the signals to have reached the nearest star. So, assuming they answer right back, in a couple more years we'll get an answer.
No, they're flying around all the time, calling all aliens. On June 15th, meet us at Robert Post Park. Come and take a pass down the river slowly so we can get some good footage.
Yeah, you got to do an ESP.
Yeah, besides, Carl, they've got repeaters and stuff.
Yeah, but imagine how cool that would be if they landed and we got some good pictures of that. Yeah, then you're right. What are we going to call the net then?
It's the interplanetary. Is that right, Maureen? Yeah, interplanetary. So anyway, hey, listen, we just got a big update. You ready?
Okay, go ahead.
This at the Toad Harbor get-together, the next Toad Harbor get-together in June on the 15th. It will be the 5-year anniversary of the Toad Harbor net.
Okay, sounds good.
So I think there's one way we could possibly psychokinetically contact these extra-dimensional terrestrial people, and that's if, we up some peyote and put it in a hot dog relish.
Then the UFO people will show up for sure.
Maybe Ray will go over to that store there in Northampton and see if they got anything for condiments.
They do. You can buy anything you want. You can buy cakes, cookies, all kinds of edible candies, anything you want.
Well, then you're responsible for bringing enough for everybody.
No, it's against the law in New York.
Cuomo says he's making, not in the city.
Yeah, not in Kingston. It's not against the law.
Yeah, you can't get in trouble for pot possession in New York, but you have to be killing a newborn baby while you got it, and then you're okay.
I'll tell you, those Democratic idiots are they're just incredible. And the thing that kills me is I truly, honestly don't believe they just can't see how stupid the stuff they talk about is. That jerk out in California, you're right. He doesn't want he got rid of the death penalty because he doesn't want to kill anybody, but yet they can let a kid pop out 8 months 8 months and be laying on the table screaming and just let them die. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, and the baby didn't kill anybody.
That's right. Well, that's what a bunch of scum-sucking pieces of crap the entire Democratic Party has turned into. How can anybody even listen to one thing they have to say? Trump is going to annihilate them on the next election. He'll annihilate them.
I hope you're right. Pelosi wants the 16-year-old high school kids to vote now, too.
Hell, it should go the other way. You should be 25 before you can vote.
No, pass a literacy test.
Yeah, you got to be able to read and write your name. If you can't read and write your name, that's it.
I can make an X.
So how in the heck do they keep taking that Cuomo weirdo and re-electing him? You guys are almost making Connecticut look like a real place to live, Randy. Come on. Seriously, why don't you guys rebel?
Oh, everybody has. There's actually an assemblyman now that's trying to separate the state into three parts. It's I can't begin to tell you the three parts. I know from like New York City up would be New Amsterdam. Then you got Long Island and you got New York City. So that's the three pieces. And as soon as that happens, if it ever would happen, probably never will. But if it ever did happen, we'd be the state would be divided red to blue in a second, and then we'd be all set.
What would our capital be then? Amsterdam?
Well, no, probably Albany still.
Toad Harbor.
Oh, Toad Harbor, yeah, no. I don't want any part of that.
Yeah, they'd ruin it.
In Connecticut, Blumenthal's crying he can't get any federal highway funds. I'm thinking, and the federal highway funds he wants are to finance the tolls they want to put up. And he can't figure out why Trump doesn't like him. All he did was badmouth Trump every chance he got.
Why don't the people in Connecticut finally smarten up and do what they did in France? You see what happened in France when they wanted to add the extra gas tax?
They're still at it.
Yeah, the problem with France has been taken over by Middle Eastern people. The population is mostly Middle Eastern now.
Muslims.
Yeah, the Muslims are. And within 5 years they say it's going to be 90% Muslim in France.
They say within 50 years they're going to take over the world.
They're doing a hell
I'll be dead
already.
Infidels.
Well, they breed. They have like 6 kids a family.
And they have multiple wives.
That's right. One guy can have 37 kids, 40.
Yeah, I got an email here the other day. They showed where the U.S. military rescued 40 women. Here, they showed a picture with 40 sheep.
Oh.
Hey, it come on the internet, so it has to be true. Randy, I'm gonna have to get your email address and send you one, or send it to you.
Who, me?
Absolutely, so you know I'm not pulling your leg.
I'm on QRZ. I'm good there.
Okay. I'll have to put it on my email, and when I get something good like that, I'll send it to you. If you would want me to. I don't want to offend you.
Yeah, I get offended easily.
About the same way I do.
Exactly. Hello, Alan.
I was watching Toad Harbor tonight.
All good in the Toad Harbor hood, pal.
Very good. Very good. Any unusual distortion on this signal?
No more than normal.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, it's just distorted when you talk.
Appreciate it.
You know, other than that, it's perfect.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's got a perfect guy before it gets to the microphone. After that, all is lost. What can I say?
Yeah, no, I just opened up the receiver so because I had it knocked down a little bit. But yeah, you're doing fine. What are you running?
Just put the Henry back online. Did some work to it. And wanted to check it out. The solid state one, the one I won't tell you.
Yeah, no, it's doing a good job. It sounds like you always sound. Clear as a bell.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, I'll let you get on with your thing. I'll listen out. KUC5LT.
Okay, Alan. Well, very good to hear you. 73 for now. You're welcome to stick around if you'd like.
I stick around just in case somebody says something really incredibly intelligent. I will compliment them on it, over.
Well, you're going to be keying the mic a lot tonight, pal.
Hey, Ray, there's your cue.
I don't think so.
Come on, with all the insightful brilliance that's already happened, I can't believe you've held back.
Wait, I'm ready here. E equals MC squared.
Yeah, what does that mean, Ray?
That means the big one's bigger than the small one.
No, it means energy equals speed of light squared. There's a lot more to it.
Energy in joules equals mass times the speed of light squared.
I got hit in the joules one time, and I didn't like it a bit.
I watched the results of that one time, and I thought it was a really, really fine looking microphone.
What's that girl's name that hit me in the joules? I forgot. Kelly. Kelly, your friend Kelly. That does hair, cuts hair. Kelly Fody hit me in the joules one time in high school. Didn't appreciate it a bit.
Did she do it on purpose?
Oh yeah, she had a nice rack, so it was kind of okay. She was joking around. She was just maybe I was being a pig. I don't know the difference. I was in high school. I don't know what to say.
You better not run for political office. Don't think that'll hold it against you.
Oh boy, that would be something.
Political office? I can't even cross into Canada for crying out loud.
Maybe you should run for political office in Canada.
And 3 or more.
That'd be a sure win for sure. KB2ZVP.
N1DVL.
KCWG2E. He can't even get back into Canada unless he brings some cash. N1SVG.
I heard KC1WG2E. So no, that's not. I heard Carl. Who's the other one?
KC1RS.
Yeah, you doubled with Carl, and it was funny because I could hear both of you guys at the same time. I heard KC1WG2E. That's what I heard. It was just fun, that's all. That's what we're all about.
Gary, are you still here?
I am.
Audio does not sound the same to me as it normally did.
I would think it would be a little different with this computer now.
Yeah, it sounds really restricted. It's not going as wide as it was before.
He's cleaned up his signal, Ray. He's not splattering like he used to.
Doesn't splatter. He sounded incredible. But he doesn't sound that way. It sounds like a regular radio now.
I think he sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'd have to go in and see. I don't know if the settings would be, if I could take the same settings and use them on this computer. Probably not. I'm going to say it'd probably be a little bit different.
Well, it's not wide like it used to go out to 4KC. Now it's only going out to like 3.2. Are you running the same mic?
Yeah.
What's his name up there? Jack. He got rid of his Flex because he said they screw you for the you have to pay them like $300 every time you upgrade the program. Where with the Anon, that's all freeware.
No, these updates are all free.
It's free for yours?
Yes.
That's because it's an older model, though, right?
That could be. I'm not too familiar with the newer ones.
You been, Bob?
What's that?
Where you been?
Oh, I was watching a hockey game. I had a dinner to go to. I did dinner first, then just turned on a piece of the hockey game. I had to finish some emails and then realized how late it was, so here I am.
Ray, do the new guys get to use excuses such as hockey games?
I can't believe it. I can't even believe what I'm hearing. You'd rather watch a hockey game than talk to the world-famous Toad Harbor people?
The interstellar Toad Harbor net.
Intergalactic.
Yeah, but it's not until the aliens land. We can't really say that. We got to get a lot of cameras there. We got to document the alien landing very, very carefully, especially for Bruce.
And to Echo Whiskey Mike.
He says that UFO is caught on tape.
We'll get them if they come to the Toad Harbor get-together. We'll get them.
Yeah. Now listen, Bruce. If they come, now tell me right now, Bruce. I don't want you to embarrass me when I go out and talk to them, and they're going to take you for a fast ride out to Pluto or something. You're going to go, right?
I'll go.
No, I'm going to become a true believer. A true believer. Won't you please take me along? I won't do anything wrong.
Okay, well, they just take you a quick run around the moon, back and forth in 5 or 6 minutes, and that'll be enough to convince you then.
Bruce, you got to sing that song you sang the other day.
Yeah, wait, let's get our recorders going, though.
At the Toad Harbor thing. And Carl's got to back me up, though.
Oh, that was such a good song you were singing the other night. I don't know why.
We should get Jack and Beth to bring their instruments.
Yeah, Jack and Beth. We're gonna. You know what? We'll get John to bring the bass guitar or his big bass.
You play both?
Yeah. We'll have a musical a big get together. That'd be cool.
A hoedown.
So, Randy, I was copying a signal the other day, and I was pretty sure it was extraterrestrial in origin. I wrote some of it down. Did you want to hear it?
I'd love to hear it, Russ.
Okay, let me see here. I got it written down. It's wait a minute. Bing bang, walla walla bing bang.
It's ting tang walla walla bing bang.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you copied it too, Dave, apparently.
Yeah, no, they're coming in here all the time. I can't stop them.
Did he tell you what to do?
No, go ahead. I turned the radio off after that.
Your friend, the witch doctor, he told you what to do.
That's right.
Where his boomerang wouldn't come back, right?
I got to jump out, guys. Everybody have a good evening. And to Echo Whiskey Mike. Pulling the plug.
You got your phone?
Hey, now you're better. Did you widen it up?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, now it sounds like you're supposed to.
See you, Gary.
All right, guys, have a good evening. And to Echo Whiskey Mike, we're heading out. Go to bed.
Yeah, good night, Gary. See you.
Again. You don't sound all pinched like okay, N1DVL.
Well, who wrote that song, that ting tang walla walla bing bang?
The witch doctor.
No, the group, I mean.
That's before my time.
No, it's not, Ray. It was during our time. It was back in the 50s.
That sounds... Maybe the same guy that wrote Little Nash Rambler. You hear that?
I heard some.
Seville, David Seville.
Yeah, Alvin and the Chipmunks. What was the name of the song then? All right, so David Seville, and what was the name of the song?
My boomerang won't come back.
Witch Doctor.
One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater.
Oh, purple people eater. Yeah, that's right.
One-horned, one-eyed, flying purple people eater. That's right. See, there you go. There's a historian.
Right. Well, they must have known the aliens.
We used to sing that song when I was in grade school.
That Running Bear.
Oh, I like Running Bear.
And Little White Dove or something?
Little White Girl, I think.
The girlfriend, Running Bear. It was boyfriend girlfriend thing, wasn't it?
Little White Dove, wasn't it?
I think so.
How about Timey Kangaroo Down Sport?
Yep, that's a good one.
So Witch Doctor was written by Ross Bagdasarian Sr., but he used the stage David Seville, 1958.
Then you got to throw in the Irish Rovers.
The Unicorn Song.
Absolutely.
The Green Alligator and the Long-Necked Sheep.
Long-necked goose, not a long-necked sheep.
Yeah, well, I don't do a good job of copying. They still got pages of this stuff.
He's got Bo Peep, so he knows all about that stuff.
That's close enough. Puff the Magic Dragon.
I hear that. I listened to that oldie station, 96.9. You could probably get that, Carl, 96.9. And they play. It's the whole thing's taped, so they play the same songs over and over and over. If you listen to it enough, you get to know almost their routine. But they play all those songs.
Okay, yeah, I'll see if I can get it when I go upstairs.
So you're telling me these transmissions aren't extraterrestrial in origin, then?
I think most of them are.
Well, if they're coming from a satellite.
Somebody's got to get the coordinates of Robert Post Park so we can give it to the aliens so they can show up there.
They already know it.
Well, they might not.
They can just ask the Google.
That's all.
That Robert Post Park, is that anywhere near the Amtrak station?
Right around the corner.
All right.
Maureen's saying no. The Amtrak station is in Kingston. It's outside of Kingston, but it's very close. I mean, it's right around the corner. Okay, how far does it have to be away to around the corner? It's within 10 miles.
That's walking distance.
For me, in the old days.
We'll send somebody down to the station to get you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll pick you up.
Hey, Randy, how come we never hear from the guy down there in Long Island? He didn't have transportation to make it up there. Remember, he was thinking about taking a train.
Yeah, well, walk. Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't been around that much. He stops in once in a while.
Well, if he's listening, he should come in more often.
Okay, I got one last question before I go to bed. And that is, if an alien craft lands there, how many of you guys would go for a ride?
I would.
I think I would.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to be taking off from 41 degrees, 57 minutes, 53.4 degrees north, 73 degrees, 57 minutes, 32.9 west.
You think they'd give us an engine room tour?
There's no engine.
Well, what a power plant tour.
Hey, Randy, when we go to Robert Post Park now, there's something very important you got to bring with you.
Uh-huh.
You know what it is?
My magnet detector, my alien detector.
Absolutely.
And a passport.
And bring some straps and tie downs for them tower sections too.
I'll have them.
If you go inside an alien craft, you get seasick because of the atmosphere that's in there, according to Ray's friends.
That and those things take off so quick. You could not withstand the G on the takeoff. They say they would flatten you right out.
Yeah, no, because they change gravity in a way that inside the craft the gravity's only about 1/10 of what it normally would be. So you can accelerate at 10 Gs and you're only going to feel 1.
Yeah, they also fold space, so they see the outside passing by. They don't sense any movement on the inside.
Are you a Dune fan?
Dune? You mean the movie Dune?
Yeah, the Frank Herbert books. Yeah, I've read them. It's all part of that relativistic and relativity and how space-time can be folded.
Yeah, well, the Guild navigators there used that spice to fold space.
Yeah, so what they would do is just redefine their coordinate systems, and they would just, fold space from there to here, and then they're where they need to be.
I've read all those books at least 3 times, the original Frank Herbert ones. And then his son, Brian Herbert, has written a whole bunch of other books, prequels and sequels, with Kevin J. Anderson, and they're all pretty good, too. WG2E.
Well, you're ahead of me on that one, Carl. I think I did the Dune and the prequel one on the Benny Gesserits and the Benny Twi'leks. But anyway, yeah, very good, Carl. Well read. KT Tootie.
Did you happen to, did anybody see that Great American Read that was on PBS here like 6-8 months ago? It was like the 100 favorite books in the United States, and Dune was one of them.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he wove that story in a number of different pieces of it, all those little vignettes and everything. He really did a heck of a job bringing all that together, and some of that stuff's pretty, deeply scientific, so he did quite a good job, I thought.
Yeah, well, they're all in boxes up in my attic. I bet I got 2,000 paperback books in my attic, mostly science fiction.
Wow. Did you see the chapter on stainless steel antennas?
Oh, there may have been.
They're pretty piss-poor performers on 160.
I was waiting for somebody to bite. Jeez.
Well, we've talked about this for years here. Most people don't realize how bad stainless steel is.
Ray, when they use them in whips, I guess for short pieces, the resistance isn't going to be as bad, is what I'm thinking. Obviously you got the corrosion and the other stuff, but maybe they've all been supplanted. But I remember as a kid, you'd see police cars and stuff like that with the stainless steel whips, but maybe they've all been replaced. But I'm thinking, the long runs, it would certainly kill you. Just curious, why they would use them on some of the whips. Maybe short pieces are less of a problem.
The Larson Cool Rod antennas were plated with all different kind of plating to get rid of that problem. An 8-foot whip at 160 meters gives you an additional 3.5 dB loss because of the stainless steel. Now, if you run that at 10 meters, probably only a few tenths of a dB.
Okay, yeah. So if they're operating in the 30 to 50 megahertz range, yeah, okay, or in the low VHF. All right, wow, 3 dB for a whip. That's quite a bit.
That's why if you saw that QST, this new QST, look at the connections they use on that twin loop, little small loop. And that's the kind of connections you have to run at that low frequency at 160 meters in order to get away from that big loss. Anyway, I'm down to 100 watts. I'm going to go to bed. I will see all you fine gentlemen later. N1DVL.
Take care, Ray.
Sweet dreams.
Good night, Ray. KC3, KXB. Y'all rest easy now.
Okay, good night all. N1DVL.
So, Carl, quite a collection of science fiction. My son was a voracious science fiction reader. He read all the Herbert ones and all the other ones, too.
Yeah, Herbert, Heinlein, Asimov, all those guys. I read all their stuff. And I even met Isaac Asimov once. But, I was getting too many books, so I've gone to a Kindle. So I've probably saved myself a few boxes in the attic.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The H. Allen Smith was what I remember reading when I was a kid. He did some pretty good. He had some pretty neat stories.
Well, there's still a lot of guys coming out that I've been running across here over the years. I don't read as much as I used to. When I worked at the steel mill and I was driving a dump truck, half the time you were just sitting there waiting for them to load you up with something. So I always had a book going.
Where did you work at a steel mill?
Oh, Allegheny Ludlam, Altec, there down across from the Arsenal.
Oh, yes, you did tell me. Okay, yeah, at the swap meet, you did say that. Yeah, I drive by them because I work on the Arsenal, not for the Arsenal, but a tenant organization there. Oh, yes.
23 years.
Let me grab Tom for a second. Tom, you there?
Yes, sir.
So Maureen's got it all figured out. There's no train going into Kingston for you, but you're welcome to take the train into Syracuse, which is 4 hours for you, and then you can stay here the night before, and then we'll drive down that night.
I appreciate it, but if I come, I'll be bringing a motorhome, and that way they're. Being I can't come on a train, I'll bring a motorhome and spend the night in the motorhome.
Well, okay, that's fine. You were asking about the train. I thought you were considering taking the train. You're welcome to come here, stay here, and then we got those great room rates,
Yeah, I sincerely appreciate it, but I can't do that.
Because I don't know if there's any passage service on the west shore, but Rhinebeck is right across the river from Kingston, and there'll be a stop there if that works.
Yeah, Rhinebeck is close, that's right.
So we've got to get, that was Tom. He was asking about the train. We've got to get Bob information. You got to send Bob tomorrow. Bob, we'll send you information tomorrow to the get-together.
Okay, yeah, it's my call sign, ARL.org. That'll get to me, and I'll keep an eye out for it. If I don't get it in a day or two for some reason, you get on to something else, I'll remind you.
Okay, I got it right here. And I'm going to hand it to Maureen because if you're waiting for me to do it, it won't get done. But she'll take care of it tomorrow.
Great, thanks very much.
Of course, I got to give you the right call sign. I got you as KD2T, but it's KT2D. There we go. I always get that backwards. I'm a little bit weird like that.
Yeah, there's a guy in Long Island, Bob. He comes into the traffic nets. He's K2TV, and then there's KY2D over in New Jersey. So it's can be tough.
I love this. I can be found evenings on the world famous Toad Harbor Net.
That's awesome. Carl, how come you haven't changed your QRZ site so far yet, Carl?
Well, yeah, I'm going to work on it. I got to get a different picture, so it's got 1930 on the television, and I will make appropriate mention of things. Did you see that schematic I put at the bottom of the page?
I did. This is you tore that from somebody else, though.
Oh, I don't know. I've had that somewhere. I downloaded it. It's been on my computers.
Yeah, Rich has that same thing, WZ2D. He has the same thing on his.
Well, I thought it was kind of cool, and everybody liked it at work. I slipped it into everybody's schematic books for the cranes.
Yeah, WZ2P. I've got to reach out to him because that bum hasn't been on here in a long time. But you got to look at his
changed up his
yeah, you got to look at his QRZ. Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa.
Hey, nice car.
Right? He's actually got, he actually set up a phone-in setup for us. We actually have, and he has it registered. The Toad Harbor Net actually has a phone number that you can call in and leave messages for the people on the Toad Harbor Net.
I never got one.
No, I didn't list it. Can you imagine?
Hey, Carl?
Yes.
So I'm looking at your page. The Skyhook, did you just line up, was that a contrail behind your antenna that you got lined up there?
I looked out the back of my deck one day, and I saw that, and I says, oh, I got to get a picture. It was perfect.
Nice tower.
It's an old E-Way crank-up.
Oh, really? Yeah, I gotta look into one of those.
I got the whole thing disassembled on the ground, ready for pickup for $125 with a Mosley TA-33 beam, which I sold at the Hamfest for $125. So that ended up being a good deal.
So the tower and the beam went?
Yeah, for $125. So, and I sold the beam for that, and then so the tower cost me nothing other than cables and repairs.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, and of course I got solid rock here in the backyard, so it took me like a week with an electric jackhammer to make a hole. Oh, hi, Dick. Yeah, I should have saved it. You know, I could have just bolted that to the side of my antenna, or my tower at 20 feet pointed towards Europe.
Yeah, that was quite an antenna. I dug a hole in 1970. I dug a hole, and I put a tower in about 33 feet. When I got done with it, telescoping pipe, one inside the other, and I made that. I was a lot younger then, but anyway. And I put that out there. Boy, that was nice. And I got it for $97 from, I think it was Brown Junction up there.
Yeah, the prices of stuff now is just crazy. WG2E. Yeah, roger that. Well, I still have a Cushcraft A3, and I got the paperwork out of that there a few months ago, so I could order some parts for it. I paid $202 for that back in 1985, and I don't know, it's $600 or $700 now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That sounds like a big campaign. And I made one of them, and then my engine went batty on me, so I didn't know what it was, so I took it down, but I could put one up again. I made one of those, too. And I like to make things out of aluminum. And it's just hard finding the half-inch tubing nowadays, or, like you say, everything's gone up in price, and it's kind of hard to get that stuff, but oh well. I thought I'd come in and say hello to you again, and let you know that I used to have one of those. I was familiar with it.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, nice to hear you again. Yeah, I probably should have kept it, but yeah, that's the way it goes. WG2E.
About 25 to 30 over here. Thanks for the tonight, too. I hope my 100 watts is doing okay for you. Dipole antenna. And I keep thinking of making it into a loop, but I don't know about shooting things over the house and then getting the wire across the roof of the house. You know, it'd be up about, let me see, might be at least 15 to 20 feet above the roof, so it would be all right, but I don't know about putting the thing on, getting something to go over, maybe a tennis ball or something with a string on it. Maybe I can do it that way. I don't want to put holes in windows. Maybe I can play out really good bananas with me. WG2E, K1 Adam Henry,
Okay, Dick, yeah, you're just over 9 here. I'm west of Nectady. Well, you could always do the old crescent wrench on the end of mason string and then fling it around in a circle and hope you let go at the right time.
Oh, yeah, with the weight in the string. I did that one, and it went twice over the same limb up in the tree. Yeah, that was a few years ago, too. Maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, but these 70-year-old, I'm a 70-year-old, almost an 80, and, oh boy, I just got to get off the couch more and walk more, I guess. I don't know. The legs just don't want to get up and go anymore, like they used to. And, they keep it balanced and all that kind of stuff. Oh, boy. Yeah, that would do it. That might do it, yeah. Flip it over. Oh, boy. Oh, well. It's fun. I got thinking about it anyway. WG2E, K1AHA.
Yeah, okay, I missed some of that. Your signal's kind of gone down. My noise level's gone up here. Randy, are you still copying him okay?
I was actually sorry. I was just on the computer looking at the Magnuson superchargers for the new Hellcats that produce 900 horsepower to the wheel. So I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, Dick, go ahead.
I was mentioning the PA33 Junior antenna that I used to have, and it was a tri-band 10, 15, and 20-meter beam, and I had to come in and say hello to Carl about that, and I know, I used to have one, and I put up a tower, height. They're about 33 feet off the ground, and
Okay, Dick. Well, I can understand that. You know, a lot of XYLs don't have the same appreciation as some of us guys do with our big antennas and all that. I'm lucky in the fact that that Maureen, you know, shares an appreciation for a big antenna, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We gotta have what we can do, you know, when the beams, you don't like that. Not a ham, and I don't know. My dad was I was a ham first, and there were 5 boys in the family, and I'm the baby, and I'm glad I am. And my dad got his ticket in 1958. I got mine in 56, and let's see. So anyway, that's all I am. I tried my daughter to learn the code at the time, you know. Then my grandson, nobody wanted to get into ham radio. They do the cell phone thing. That's it, you know, which is okay to a certain amount of things. But I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to mention on here that I heard KB9 CAC, I think it was. Charlie Hotel Charlie, and he was coming in 5'9", maybe, well, I had about a 7 noise last night, but anyway, he was coming in 2.5, and I was threatened to him, but I heard him in there, and then one other night I did hear a Miami station in there, and I guess you know that I work Ireland. Boy, I was really tickled pink with that one. I couldn't believe I did that. And there was another Q5 station all the way across the pond and northeast of where I live. Wow. That was really, really something. Very cool.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't get all of that because my noise level's coming up here, and you're just about in the level of noise there. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to call it quits for this evening. I got a few things to do upstairs. I got to go see if I can hear Randy or Ray's FM station. So I'll say 7-3s all around. Like to talk to everybody. We'll catch you all later. WG2E.
Yep. Good night, Carl. I'm going to get out of here, too. It's 10 o'clock. I've got to get up early in the morning. So 73 all. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Here's KB2ZVP. Good night, Dick. Sleep well, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, guys. KT2D.
Okay, Dick. Well, you're about 10 over S9, and my noise level's a 5, so you're well above the noise. You're doing a great job here. No trouble copying you a bit. 73 to you two, Bob and Tom, and everybody else who's out there, Russ and Gary, whoever else is listening. 73, KB2ZVP.
See you, Bob. We'll talk books again. WG2E. Good night.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. Very interesting. Look forward to it. Good night, guys. 7-3 KT2D.
KB2ZPG, KB2ZPG, AC2SX.
KC2FN, is it? Go ahead.
AC2SX, Randy. I just put up a new 160 antenna tonight, you know, and kind of hit the dust in the last windstorm. How am I doing? I'm over here in Palermo, and I'm coming at you at 15 watts.
Oh, you're in Palermo. Well, you should be a lot stronger than you are. But if you're running 15 watts,
well, you're 10 or 12 over S9 right now to me.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering, as long as I can make the trip out there, I'm warming up the amp now, so I just want to see how I was doing on the air with it, and I know you're getting out there, and I'll let you go, and I'll catch you in there some other time.
What is your name? Is it Mike?
No, my name is Gary, and the call letters are Alpha Charlie 2 Sierra X-Ray.
Oh, SX. Okay, Gary. Sorry about that. I had you goofed up. I guess yeah, you're up in Fulton. You're just right around the corner from me. I used to work up in Fulton. Actually, there was a big standoff up in Fulton today, right at Mimi's restaurant.
Yeah, Roger. I heard something about that this morning. There, it started down there by Fern Dairy on Emery Street, and then I kind of lost track of where they caught up with the guy. But yeah, they had things going on out down there. Yep. You're probably probably familiar with Massaro's over here. Used to be Northern Readiness.
I knew the only thing I know is Northern Concrete, and Rosselli and all that stuff. I'm in that business, so that's what I knew. But you're only 14 miles from me, so you're like right around the corner. So you should be way stronger. What is the antenna that you put up?
I just put up an inverted V dipole, 160-210, with a 1-to-1 balance with a ladder line on it. Let me turn the power up. Okay, I'm coming at you now with 100 watts. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should have brought me up some.
Yeah, that brought you up more readable. You were real weak before. On this band, you need a lot of power. So you're running a multi-banded inverted L. You said inverted V. What is it? What is the antenna?
It's just a dipole inverted V, and I just turned the amp on. Like I said, I'm only driving it with 15 watts, and right now I'm driving it with 100, and it's an AL80V.
This is a kilowatt amp. Okay, very good. So talk about the antenna. Describe it to me. What's the length of it?
Okay, it's 220 feet, 110 feet on each leg. It's up about 50 feet, and the apexes are the apex is 50 feet, and the two lines are about 20 feet in the air on the at the other ends.
And you're feeding it with open wire line?
Yeah, 300 open 300 ohm ladder line.
Yeah, you're way better now. You're way better now. Well, very good. That's a good antenna. You should have no trouble getting in here, and the guys will hear you without any trouble.
Okay, Roger. We usually get in there at 9:50 there late at night, and we talk until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, or I should say 4 o'clock in the morning, with a bunch of guys up there. So, okay, Randy, I'll let you go, and at least we know this thing is working now.
So you're doing a great job. Yeah, no trouble copying you. Who else is still in here? Can you guys hear Gary?
Yeah, KT2D. He's coming in. He's probably an S8, S9 here in Albany area.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, and actually the antenna is running probably northwest to southeast.
Yeah, being close to the ground, though, Gary, it's pretty much omnidirectional.
Yeah, Roger. Well, when spring breaks, I'm going to put up on my tower there. I've got a 100-foot tower sitting next to it that, kind of didn't want to get up there and climb on it, today.
Are you near the maple syrup place?
Yep, I'm just down the road from it.
Pancake breakfast?
Yeah, have they started the pancake breakfast yet?
No, I think that's next week. I'm not, either next week or the week after, I'm not sure.
So we should all get together and go to the maple syrup place out there. That would be kind of fun to get. Yeah, we can't do it next weekend, but maybe the weekend after we could probably do that. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah, Roger. I knew he was plowed out down there, so I'm sure he's probably running sap now. So, yep. He's only it's a mile from my house down to the corner.
So you're close to that, yeah, very good. Well, yeah, we know about maple syrup. I know a little bit about it. My wife knows a lot about it. Her son runs the largest maple syrup company in New York State.
Well, that's good. Well, my grandfather used to, draw syrup here, years ago when I was a kid. So, Yeah, sit there and, watch the fire and boil the sap and, throw the buckets in there. Back then we had the taps on the trees and the buckets.
Yeah, a kid used to work for me, John Dow. He just had a big fire at his maple syrup place. He had a sugar house in the back, and it wound up burning down. Yeah, just the other day. So anyway, Gary, good to meet you. You must listen here once in a while, right? So you're welcome to stop by anytime.
All right, appreciate that, Randy. You must work for Barnes & Cohen?
That's right, I do.
Yep. Well, back when I used to be working, L.B. Smith used to be around the corner, the T-Rex dealer, and Ted's Electric, Syracuse Diesel. Yeah, I'm familiar with all that area up in there.
Sure thing. Yeah. Well, that's where I'm at every day, from early in the morning till too late in the afternoon, early evening. But yeah, that's the business I've been in for 30 some odd years. Not at that place, but that I ran Rosselli for a while, and Northern. When Rosselli bought Northern, they brought me in to help them through the transition.
Yeah. Yep. They've been a lot of changes down there, and I don't know if it's for the better or not.
Well, if you ask the bank, not so much, because they're in big trouble. But anyway, that's their problems, not mine or yours, thankfully.
Yeah, Roger. My property there, I have Lindsay Aggregate, mining my place.
Oh, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who they are.
Yeah, he just put in a $500,000 wash plant there, and he's getting set up for concrete running and sand and the whole 9 yards up here.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's. Geez, I wish I was still available to do consulting. I could help the guy out a bunch. I run concrete, and that's what Rick Rosselli brought me in for, is to help him through the transition. And that's what I do. I travel all over the country fixing and rebuilding and setting up plants.
Yeah, Roger. He just got this one set up. They come in November, set up. He bought that one over in Switzerland. That's quite an outfit he's got down there.
What's he got for trucks?
He's got Kenwoods and mostly Kenwoods. 18-wheelers, and he's got 3 tractor trailers, with the 40-foot trailers.
I'm talking about ready-mix. What's he got for ready-mix trucks? You said he's setting up a ready-mix plant, right?
No, he's just setting up a wash plant for, concrete sand.
Oh, really? So, really? Because we're looking, it would be. Let me give you my cell phone number, okay? And do you know the guy? Can you have the guy call me?
Yeah, I know him. He's my neighbor, and I see him just about every day.
So let me give you my cell phone number. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm visually handicapped here.
Yeah, take your time. There's no rush.
Okay, go ahead, Randy.
Okay, it's area code 845. The area code is 845-418-0243. 0243. And just have them give me a call. I'd like to talk to them about his sand.
I think the last digit, repeat that again, would you?
Sure thing. It's 845-418-0243. 0243.
The last 4 digits are 0243.
Roger Dodger.
Okay, I'll give him a call, and he can pass it on. He's got a broker down there that, you place all the orders for and everything down there, so I'll pass this on to you, Randy.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to talk to him. We buy a lot from Poland Sand. We get, 3, 4, 5 loads a day from Poland Sand, sometimes 12.
Yeah. Now, a couple of years ago, Vitale was buying the sand off of them there, and he'd have to truck it over there. They'd wash it, and he'd have to truck this, the waste back here. And he says, the hell with that. He says, that's double hauling. He says, I'll just set up a wash plant here and do it all.
Right, yeah. Well, Vitale got bought, so you know how that goes. But yeah, that'd be cool to talk to him. I'd like to talk to him for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because Vitale's engineer was out here, and they took the samples out and had the sand tested there, so that passed. Okay. That'd be a good thing. All right, I'll give this to him tomorrow there, Randy, and he should be contacting you.
Okay, sounds great. Great to meet you, Gary, and stop by more often. Stop in here at the world famous, the intergalactic Toad Harbor Net.
All right, Randy, we'll do. You have a good one, and you better have to, and we'll be QSY up the band.
All right, pal, 73. KB2ZVP.
AC2SX, QRT and QSY.
Good night, Bob, if you're still listening.
C5L2.
You get that pile of junk working yet, or what?
Yeah, I think so. About a kilowatt on 160. It's got a relay. I need to chase down a relay for it, but it's just a switching relay on the filter network for the low pass filters. But being as I don't use 10 meters, I'm not really in a big hurry to go find one. Over.
I've got tons and tons of relays. If you've got some kind of spec or something, if I could help you, you can have it. I've got lots of relays here for all different voltages and like that. So if something came up where you needed a relay and I got it, it's yours.
I appreciate your generosity. I'll look around, see if I can't find one somewhere. I got boxes of stuff, so I got some time to go through. But it's not a big critical thing at the moment. 160 through 20 works just fine, and seems to be developing full power. Did some rehab work on a couple of circuit boards, one thing and another, and just blowing the cobwebs out. Over.
It sounds real good, and you're real clean too. And you're 20, 25 over, something like that. I can see you real good on the scope, and my band noise is like a 4 right now. So you're easily copyable, and I can copy what you're saying and see what you're saying real good. So yeah, I'd say it's working well.
Yeah, that's part that counts. The amp never had an issue with clean. It was built to FCC specs, current at the time it was built, which was a ways back in the late 90s. But nonetheless, it comes out pretty good. It's got a nice filter board in it. I just toasted one of the relay pins, so it literally melted the pin off. So I said, well, I'll have to take care of that someday. But everything else is doing just wonderfully well. As a grounding pin, too, I'm probably run wrong relay or with the wrong band selected at some point, which is easy to do when you're contesting.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying there, Alan. Well, it's doing a good job. All right, you probably heard I'm going to check out of here. How's my signal down there to you, by the way? I'm running high power here tonight out of the Alpha amp, and it looks like it's doing okay.
Yeah, clean as you would expect an Alpha to be, and loud, which is nice. You're always have always been loud, but you got louder when you installed that. One of the things about having lots of overhead, as they call it, available is the amp doesn't strain to reach legal or less than legal limit. It just loafs along literally, and it sounds good when they do. If you have one which will reach legal limit, but only if you flog it like a racehorse, they'll get there, but they just don't sound quite as good. And that one sounds good. You did real good when you bought that, all right?
Well, I appreciate it. I like the amp a lot. It's got a lot of overhead, like you say, and it doesn't struggle to hit 1500. Yeah, it'll do 1500 with no trouble, and without a lot of drive too. So even though it's a 200-watt rig, the drive, you don't have to wail on the thing, So it does okay. I'm happy with this purchase. I really want to go take a ride down to see Dick down there and get the other tube and stuff installed. The other available, because it's like the amplifier is perfect for that. It's got the right spacers. It's got the right power supply. It's got all the right stuff. So it kind of almost is like if you put that in there, you could run the rig down real low and never have to worry about. The amp would be good forever at that point,
Oh yeah, they'll last. The radio lasts, the amp will last. Everything's happy. If you run them at greatly reduced capabilities, things tend to last longer. My OM has capabilities far in excess of our, but about 25 watts to drive. It's bumping on 1500, so I figure that's that way my poor finals in this 7610 should last probably longer than I do. Over.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it will. That's the nice thing about having run reduced power. You got SWR, no SWR issues, and you'll never tax the radio or the components of the radio. So, yeah, you're going to have no trouble with that whatsoever. Alan, I'm going to check out of here because I'm getting tired out, and my wife is, kind of wanting me to get to bed. So, we'll see you later. Anyway, 73, Alan. Huh? Yeah, she's saying it's 10:30 already. So, all right, I'll see you later. KC1LT, KB2ZVP.
Roger. Very good, KB2ZVP. Yep, keep the wife happy. That's always important business. And I'll chat with you another time. Always a pleasure, Randy. KB2ZVP, KC5LT, toodaloo.
Yeah, I gave you a 1 instead of a 5. Sorry, Alan. See you later. 73 KB2ZVP. Is your email good on QRZ still?
Oh yeah, it's that's one I pretty much keep updated, and it's always good.
Roger, roger.
Howdy, Alan, K9OT.
Well, good evening, Paul. How in the world are you doing?
Well, I am holding in there.
Well, is it starting to thaw out up there in frozen Northland, or is it still frozen up, huh?
Yeah, it's thawing a little. We're in the muddy stage.
I know what you mean. Yeah, Tuesday afternoon, I put the sister on a plane, and, it's 65 degrees, and the sun is shining brightly in Knoxville, and she sent me a picture she took out of the window of the plane as it came in for landing at Ottawa, and it's just fields of snow. Yep, well, it too will melt. Over.
Wow. Yeah, and that's not, it's a ways north. Well, it's not as far north from here as it is from you, probably. But, the snow is pretty well gone around here, except for the piles.
Roger. Well, she said it melted down about 3 or 4 feet while she was gone, but still got a couple of feet left to go, so it's working at it. And they're getting some days where it's significantly above freezing, so they're getting some melting. You don't want it all to melt at once. That's what leads to those rivers coming through your living room, over.
Yeah, Peg just made the comment that we've been to the Ottawa airport.
Very good. Yeah, used to be, they call it Cartier McDonald or something now, but when I lived in Ottawa, it was Uplands Airport. I used to go, as a kid, I could just walk up there and walk out on the tarmac and go hang out with guys working on their planes and stuff. They were scattered all over the field. Nobody cared. But of course nowadays everybody cares, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that, boy. Things have changed. When we were kids, I never heard of all this people getting shot, and, well, you heard of, the mob and stuff like that, but there wasn't any of this shooting 25 or 50 people. And, boy, I don't know, something has changed drastically.
Well, part of it, things have changed a little bit, but a lot of it is just that the news gathering has expanded, and they broadcast stuff now that they never would have broadcast in the past. They give these guys the notoriety that they didn't do that back in the day. They just wouldn't publish their pictures. They wouldn't publish their misdeeds because that just encourages more people to do the same crap, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot to that now you hear of, everything all over the world almost instantly, where before you might not have heard it at all on the radio, and if you didn't read a newspaper, you didn't hear it, period.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not for censorship, but I have no issue at all with the coverage some of these people get. They do it for the publicity. They don't care about anything else, and they certainly get the publicity, which is a sad thing. But there is possibly more. There's more people too. There's a lot more people around than there used to be, and the population mix has changed a lot. You got different folks from all different parts of the world. So
they bring their bad habits with them, over.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. And like you say, I think when I got out of school, they figured there was about 200 million people, and now it's like 320 million or something like that.
Yep, pretty much. There's a bunch. I don't know what it is. I know it's over 300 million, but and there's a different mix altogether from what they used to be. So you got all sorts of folks and all sorts of conflicts. So I don't know. I don't pretend to know the solution to it. Just watch it. And I know if they come up my hill, I can deal with it. But if it's somebody else's hill, they got to deal with it themselves. Over.
Yep. Well, that's the way I look at it. I just leave everybody do what they want. As long as they don't bother me, I don't care what they do.
You betcha. You betcha. Now, one of my neighbors, he's a neighbor only in that he owns property across the street from me. He lives in Indiana, but he comes down here all the time. He likes to come up on my porch, and he sets a target up in his field across from me, and it's just a little over 1,000 yards, 1,036 yards, knocking holes in that for fun with a 223, which is an awfully light round for that range. But we peppered it pretty good there the other day. Over.
Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty good distance to be accurate.
Yeah, he's got rifle he built himself, and it's a very, very accurate rifle. It's on a little bipod mount. We stretch out on the porch. For every $100 you put in a gun, put $200 in the scope. Well, he's got a 22-power scope on that thing that brings that target right up in front of you. So it's just a matter of windage and elevation after that. Over.
How long did it take him to get it sighted in at that distance?
It took him about 3 shots with a spotter at the target. Over.
Wow. Gee whiz. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm certainly not against guns because I have a couple, but, I don't shoot them very often.
No, I don't either. I've got about 4 of them, I guess, all long guns, shotgun, 3 rifles. But it's a nice gun that he's got. It shoots well. And it's consistent, which is really what you want. But you got to pick a day when the wind's not blowing. We were up here with a fair breeze blowing. It wasn't, hurricane strength or anything, but it was pushing the leaves around, and it was a good deal harder to get on target because it's gusty, and you can't adjust the sight for it. If you adjust it, that's all well and good, but 3 or 4 seconds later, you only got that much wind. Over.
Yeah. Especially if you have a lot of gusts. And so, like you say, if you shoot it when there's a gust, that's a lot different than after the gust is gone and it's calm again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we had a pretty good time with it. He pounded the heck out of the target, but I was having a little trouble with it myself. He's much, much better and a lot more practice than I am. So, but he likes to come up and do that. We have fun. And it's just something to do, spend an afternoon. His dad lives out here not too far from me. We all fool around. Him and his dad are both hams, so we got some stuff in common anyway, and some interest in electronics, one thing and another. And so we all hang around whenever he's in town. They get together and come up, open up a bottle of Crown Royal and enjoy ourselves. Over.
Oh, that's the main thing, to enjoying yourself.
Absolutely. I do like. I'm a bit of a hermit. I tend to stay on my mountain all the time, and it's always nice to have have one of the few people that I know locally that I can call a friend that stop by and spend some time. Over.
Yeah, this is K9LT, and I know what you're saying. I've lived where I live now for about 45 years or something like that, and I don't know a lot of people around here because I'm not one that just goes around and meets everybody.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I know the feeling, but I've long been aware that I'm not from around here, so I pay attention to that. don't get in people's business, but they're nice folks around here. They really are. They're good people, and we've really enjoyed ourselves since we've been here, but I don't get out very much, that's all. I was on the road for traveling, doing other things for 31 years, and I just lost all interest in going anywhere.
Yep, I understand that. Yeah, and I don't know. It's I'm not sure it helps a lot to know everybody in the world. Then you learn all the bad things that are happening.
Roger. You betcha. And if you hear any fan noise, it's because my fans just kicked on the amp, which is interesting. I had them shut off and just turned them on, and the thermostat was closed, so I guess they needed a little extra cooling. I'm running a little solid-state amp that Henry made way back in the day. Around the late 90s, he came out with a series of them. He had an SS500, an SS750, and a SS1200, and the numbers reflect the dead key power output of the various amps. I got the 1200, and it's still will dead key about a kilowatt. So it's not 500 out of it right now. Just tinkering with it. I was trying to blow the cobwebs out and do a little work on it that needed some rehab. Over the years, everything needs a little bit of rehab. Over.
Yeah, and it's good to use them once in a while just to make sure they still work okay, and like you say, get the cobwebs out and whatever.
Oh yeah. Don't ever lean into a fan that's running. It just sucked my shirt in and tried to decapitate my buttons. Over.
Yeah, I understand that. All of my life until, not anymore now, I don't, but when probably from grade school on, I used to fly model airplanes off and on whenever I would take a notion, and I remember one time I had this little engine running on the stand, and I went to adjust the fuel, and the needle valve's pretty close to the propeller.
Yes, it is. A little hard on the fingers, too. I flew a few of those in my day. Fly a quadcopter now, just the, so-called drone, but actually we're using that spot for us. The other day when we were shooting a target, we send it over and check for holes, but, they can take a finger off pretty quick if you stick it in the wrong place, over.
Yeah, we went to Sunday. We went to a ham fest here, about 100 miles away, and I saw a drone there. Some guy was carrying it. I don't know if he was selling it, buying it, or what, but he was just carrying it when I saw it close.
Oh, okay. They're pretty good. They're fun. You don't need the skill set that we used to have to fly the old ones, the pre-flight aircraft, because they, if you goose the controls on one of those, it would do wild and crazy things. But
The drones, basically you can just, if things get out of hand, you just let go of the controls and they'll just stop where it's at and hover. It's very, very easy to fly. They're very stable, take beautiful pictures. Most of them have a decent camera on them. The new ones have zoom lens on the cameras, and you can do some really nice photography around your place in the neighborhood, neighboring farms and stuff. It's pretty interesting. I have fun with it, but they're not for everybody, ever.
Well, now, if you have a camera on it, how do you know where it's pointed at? If it was me, I'd be, either too high, too low, or wrong angle, or left or right, or something.
No, well, the way it works is the camera's on all the time, so you get to watch it on the screen. There's video screen, and that's how you fly the thing. It's usually pinprick on the horizon when you're flying them. So you just watch the video feed, and it tells you where it's going and what it's pointed at. There's also a map overlay, so you can switch from the camera to the map overlay, see where you're and adjust where you want it to be. But the video feed is extremely nice. It also records, if you wish it to, it'll record everything it sees as well. So makes a nice thing. It's not the kind of detail. I've seen some write-ups on them. Peeking in some girl's bedroom or something. You're not going to do that without somebody really noticing, because they're not, like a 35-inch telescope or something. They're more like cell phone camera video. It's good, but it's not that good. Over.
So I take it then it has a screen on your control box, and so it wherever the camera's pointed at, it shows up on this screen and that you got in your hands.
That is correct. The control unit on my device uses my cell phone, and I just plug the cell phone into it on the charge port, and it feeds the video directly to the cell phone screen, and so you just go from that. You can use like an iPad or any of the smaller pads on that thing, both Android and Apple, whatever you got. And it shows up pretty good. I fly in the daytime. I've flown it at night. Because I'm on top of the hill, as long as I watch my altitude, I'm going to be clear of everything. It's not a problem. But you get some interesting pictures of lights and things like that out here in the boonies. But my preference, I like to scoot around the neighborhood and just do some control work, fly it, take off from the patio, bring it back, land it on the patio, and drive it around the neighborhood. I got to stay away from the marijuana farmers and people like that. They're a little paranoid, but the rest of them are okay.
What kind of a distance do you have until you lose control?
Well, let's see. My son flew his out 2.5 miles over the lake, turned it around, brought it back. He's got a little better battery on his than I have on mine. I've done about 1.5 miles. Didn't lose control, and if you do, it goes home. It heads home as soon as it loses your control signal. It stops and says, "Okay, I lost it. I'm going home." And it knows where home is, GPS driven, and it just heads back where it was launched from. And doesn't matter what's going on. It's going to be there as long as it's got enough battery to get back. It also monitors its own battery, so if you're flying straight line away from you, it'll only go so far. And then it says, okay, I'm down to like 51% battery.
It turns around and comes straight back. it won't run out of battery and not make an attempt to get home first, over.
Oh, so what kind of time do most of them have?
Between 15 and 20 minutes of flying time, over.
Okay, all right. Well, I understand that. Yeah, well, I know I had a little model airplane, radio control job that I was flying one time in a place where there was a whole bunch of people, and it was about the third flight, I think. And this had a real small battery pack, like 100 milliamp or something, and the battery went dead, and so it went full rudder, elevator, and augured into the ground.
Oh, I hate that. The older ones would do that. I remember as a young man, a young boy actually, encountering a fellow one time. He was driving around in his car, and he said, "Did you see a model airplane come by or anything?" Because I said, "No." He said, "Well," he said, "I was flying it over at the airport." He said, "It got away from me." He said, "It just went straight line and keeps on going until it runs out of gas." And I said, "Well, I didn't see it or hear it, so I don't think it made it this far." But yeah, that was what happened to him. He just lost control of it.
Yep, well, he's not the first guy and probably won't be the last. So, yeah, oh well. Anyway, this K9OT, I don't know if we've been putting that in or not, so I guess I better let you go, Alan, and we've got some other things to do here, and then hit the hay.
Hey, no problem. No problem. We'll chat again. I'm just happened to catch Randy on earlier, and the rest of the group had run off, so thought I'd say good evening to him. I was glad to hear you pop in there. Sometimes Walt shows up, and you, and sometimes Tim will, or somebody will anyway. And it's always nice to have a little conversation anyhow. And it is about that time. Me to head upstairs and show my face. Let the wife know I'm still around. So look forward to another time. If I don't catch you before, I'll look for you on Friday. K9OT. Pleasure always. KEC5LT.
All righty. Very good, Alan. Same here. So good to hear you. And we'll catch you probably Friday night. I don't know if I'll be around tomorrow night. I don't plan that far ahead. So 7-3. KC5LT from K9OT. Good evening. 7-3.